Revelation 3932. From the 9th of December 1946. Body, soul, spirit. Divine spark. Awakening the spirit. You, too, have the divine spark within you, you who turn away from me, yet you do not feel it. It lies in deepest sleep as long as you yourselves do not awaken it to life, and thus it cannot work in you and you let the most precious thing on earth remain completely inactive. And yet, a part of me rests within you. It is the connection between you and me through which you can effortlessly find unity with me if you allow its working within you. And thus you can live on earth and yet be dead in spirit as long as you don't give life to the spiritual spark in you through loving activity. Your soul can be determined by the spirit in it or also by the body, the outer shell, to think and want. Understandably, however, the spirit will cause it to think and act correctly, whereas the body will only allow purely material thoughts to arise and will mostly stimulate it to want and act in a way that is detrimental to its spiritual development. And therefore I put the spark from me into your soul so that it will make its earthly path easier and lead it safely to its goal. But you, who are distant from me due to an unkind way of life, who do not seek contact with me through prayer or loving activity, you completely disregard the part from me, it keeps you in the sleep of death, and your soul is only determined one-sidedly. It strives for the part from me. It strives for earthly possessions and tries to gain them by wrong means, by unkind and unjust actions towards its neighbor, and thereby it thickens the cover around itself. The sleep of the spiritual spark in it becomes ever deeper, for only love is able to awaken it. The means of help are available to all of you. I have given all people the opportunity to develop upwards more easily if only they use my gifts of grace. I myself am in contact with every one of my living creations through the spiritual spark which every person carries within himself, and I constantly admonish everyone to love so that you will feel the blessing of a life of love through the working of my spirit within you. Yet you don't pay attention to my words. You let them fall on your ears without effect and don't establish the connection with me by allowing the spiritual spark in you to unite with the Father Spirit through loving activity. And thus you remain dead in spirit, your soul hardens itself, it renders itself incapable of hearing the voice of the Spirit if it speaks to it through the fellow human being, and its earthly life is an idle one which it will recognize with bitterest remorse in the end. But I bless those who allow their spirit to speak to them, who give it an ear, who live in love and thus allow my working of the Spirit in them. And they will feel me myself, for my share testifies to me, I myself am present in them and protect them from every relapse, from spiritual decline. I draw them to me, for as soon as the spiritual spark in them has sought and found a connection with me, the soul is unbreakably united with me. The once awakened spiritual spark flares up and connects with the eternal fire of my love and can never go out or grow cold. Therefore change yourselves to love, you who are still far away from me, seek the connection to me through loving activity, and awaken the spiritual spark in you to life, so that you are saved for eternity. And your soul will thank you eternally. For then it will be saved from destruction if the spiritual spark can determine its way of life on earth, if it respects its voice and allows itself to be drawn by it, if it allows my working within itself through unselfish works of love and thus redeems itself from all evil, from eternal death. Amen.